Hey there. Hello, good evening, and welcome. I am Samuel. We are live waiting for my brother Matthew to log in as well and join us. Maybe he shall. And we can see how this works because we want to test out the video performance with him. And I have invited him, but so far I don't see him. So let's see. Yeah, he should be able to see that. Um, hope so. And then he will log in. And right now, I'm live and waiting for him to show up and discuss with me whatever is necessary to discuss that we can show on the show. And anyone on the All Things Trap platform can listen in. If I choose to add the Facebook and say save the changes, we can now be seen on Facebook as well if Matthew will join in like he is supposed to. And so right now we're live on Facebook, live streaming, waiting for Matthew and to see if he can join in with us. And you joining? I ask him question mark, are you joining? So we shall see if he is going to be joining, but so far he has not. And we were just going to try this and see what he would put. And because we were just testing the Discord, and now we are on straight video and waiting for him to join us in and say hello to us all. He is Matthew. I want to tell some more stories about things that have been going on in life. And there's Matthew. Hi,
Check.
Matthew.
Can you
What
hear
are you
me?
doing? I can hear you. Say something more.
Something more.
Oh, well, there it is. You, I think so right now we're live on Facebook. We're streaming on Facebook and streaming on YouTube at All Things Trap. And it's done through StreamYard. And if we want,
Hmm.
we can also add a presentation and share a
Oh,
screen or share like the other screen of my computer and any noise the other computer makes. And so we can present over here and you can talk over there. And you also can present or invite someone to the screen. So if you see down below on your screen any of the tools for adding in, you can present video or a draw board or whatever. I have two computer screens, and the one that I am showing you is the second computer screen where nothing is currently located on it. But if I opened something on that screen, like the Discord that I had open before, and Discord opened up, it'll open up on that screen, and now you'll see my Discord online there. And that's what my Discord looks like. But if I turn it off, you'll see it. So anything that I show over here would show up. But you can also
can you
share
see
a
mine?
tab in your. Oh, that's you. And I have to add you to the screen. Before presenting, remove other media stream. Oh, so I have to remove myself. Hold on. And then I can add you. So that's you.
Ah, okay.
And so you can, because I'm in charge, of the content, but you can put something on there, and
So
it'll
if I
ask
move
if.
something over, oh yeah, there it is right there. If I move
Yeah, your
something over,
sound's a little off though. Something is still
yeah,
screwy with your
I've
sound.
noticed that with this. I'll have to
It's very
put
quiet. Can you hear
put
me
my
all right,
just.
or am I really quiet?
No, I can hear you just fine. That's why I was asking at the beginning if it was. Let me just see what's going on with.
Yeah, you're pretty quiet. Um, It was working and we were both on Discord and you did what you were doing, but
Let me look at audio. Oh, that's why it's going through the wrong one.
but if I take you off, we both are here on the screen and I can change the different ways that we can put you as the style. Like we can be square if we wish.
Check.
We can have a full screen if we wish. You know, and you can, you know, put whatever you wish on there. And so there you have it. And you should be able to pick whatever background you want, whether you have a green screen or not. You know, you can still pick whatever. Yeah, there you go. And so you can pick that or anything that is out there. And that way you have a different background and it doesn't matter what's behind it. It technically looks better with a green screen, but you know, I don't really give a rip. And I like the brick wall, or I like this one that I put behind me. And this is you know, you can take various pictures. You can upload a picture of whatever you want, some trip you went on or whatever, and have that put out there. And we can, you know, modify what you want. And so this is called StreamYard, and StreamYard is a pretty
I'm
good.
gonna have to sign up.
Well, you don't have to pay for it unless you want to, but because I pay $40, but you can have up to 10 people on this platform, and anybody that joins that link, when I send the link, what I can do is these banners. Where's the invite? I'm going to do the invite and copy that, and then go to the ticker and change it. And now if I save it and then I show it, you see the ticker on the bottom now? Now if somebody's watching us on YouTube or watching us on Facebook, they can see the stream down below and type in, and instead of calling in, they're videoing in, you see?
Yeah, check. Can you hear my audio
Oh,
now?
you need to be a little louder, but it's a lot better sound.
Ah, okay, great. Perfect. Yeah, I think I had it turned down a little bit from.
You're still not very loud though.
Let's see.
But the sound is definitely better quality. So
how's that? Is that better? Or let me see. Audio. That's weird.
And so when people make comments, if people are here and watching us on YouTube or on Facebook, if they make comments, you can see them. And those,
okay.
You'll see, well, you know, you can show the chat and what people have said, you know. And and you can also, if you had a platform you wanted to send it to, like your own Facebook page, you could send it to that platform at the same time. Somebody's see, and I can see the numbers. I don't know if you can see the numbers up on the top of people that are actually watching the program. And if people make a comment, somebody did make a comment. Oh, Dancing Fiona says hello. And so I can put her comments here. Can you see the
cool.
comments?
I can see it. I can see Dancing Fiona. Hello.
Yeah,
Hi,
but that's, yeah, but you can't see the can you see it? You can't see it on the right side of the screen as well, or can you?
Let me see.
Because over
on
the side,
I saw it on the side, and it gives me an option to join chat.
Yeah, yours says comments, banners, media, style. Do you see that?
Yep.
Yep. So the comments will mean you can click on comments and then you'll see the comments as they come up. and those comments are either coming from YouTube or coming from Facebook or coming from places like this. This is the place that I do my Russian speaking videos, and I get, Dancing Fiona listens to me in Russian a lot, and I get people on the Russian side that listen, and so. But we can still put up your screen at any time, and that means you control it. And if you entered it with sound, the sound will show up on your screen also. And you just have to tell me, just say that I want to present something with sound. And if you're going to present it with sound, then, that will make sure that that we have done it the right way. Or I can take you off and put mine on and transmit my sound from here. Or,
that's cool.
So either one of us can do a presentation or neither. But I'm the guy controlling the stage, so
That's
if
cool.
we have 10 people that come on and we put them on the stage and can speak with them, for you might want to get used to, if you do use this, you might want to get used to where your camera is and put it so at least you're facing forward, you know what I mean? So you look like you're looking into the camera, or put yourself in the center of the screen, because you're not, and just do a couple of things that make it, for somebody who's used to watching, the screen. And, you can buy a green screen background on Amazon for like $12 that you just thumbtack up to your wall, and then you can put any background that you like in there. And
you see this, oh, sorry, I'll do that. You see this website I'm sharing over to you? I don't think you've got me.
Oh, this one? I'll add it to the stage.
Yeah, see that? That's the placeholder for the globalism report. And I think it's going to be an amalgamation of, how the Drudge Report has a list of all the articles and stuff that are just nonsense nowadays because he sold it. But this will be a list of articles, but also have some of the videos that I'm planning on putting together on each of these topics. And it will have, if any of the streams that we do or whatever, but then it gives people the ability to kind of go in and track it. I also want to put together a matrix that shows, like, some how-to videos that shows them how to, track changes over time and stuff.
Yeah, I turned up your microphone. And
is it working fine now?
It's a little better, but it's better if it comes from you. I'm not sure what the problem is, but
let me see something here.
Yours is a little low on the microphone.
It shows. Let me just minimize it.
There you go.
Close. Maybe it's just not close enough to my head.
Yeah, sometimes you got to have it pretty close, especially for those gamer ones, almost where it's touching your lips.
Check.
That's much better.
Yeah, I may have to. Use the other microphone and get this one squared away.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to give this to you so we could play around with it a little bit.
Yeah, this is great.
Use it for later if you want to do because what we can do, and I'm not against this either, is if we do the show and we can play the show afterward. You know what I mean? I've done recordings of the show and then played the recording instead of the show. And I don't care, if you and I can do it. I haven't figured out how to do it at the same time yet. And I suppose I could if I used two separate computers, one for Discord and one for this. And so we could be broadcasting live on the radio and on this platform. And or we just do it completely separately. I mean, if we decided that every Friday at 9 o'clock, because my show does Sunday night through Thursday, if we said on Fridays, or whatever day, I don't go, or any night at 11:30 for me, we could do a TV, a video show like this, and
And
whatever you want
it
to do.
still sounds the same way on the, like, for folks that are listening in.
Yeah, yeah. If they listen here, like people right now, we have people watching us on either Facebook or YouTube right now. And it's not much. I mean, we're just doing a test anyway to make sure that it works. And so I'm just glad that people but they got nothing entertaining coming from us right now, except us testing out this platform for you and I to use later. But you can play around with the free version of this software.
It's trying to charge me like $35 a week or some crazy thing.
No, it's I pay $40 a month or something that I pay, and they ask you if you want that, but you don't have to do that. If you're on my platform. I do it because I stream it to so many places at the same time, and if you have a place, you have a Facebook page, yes?
Yeah, I mean, I'm never on there.
Yeah, I'm not anymore either for the most part.
Like, when
But
you say page, you're saying page like personal page, or?
well, personal, but you have a business one, because my business one, when I had to cancel my Facebook because they've been accusing me of being a porn king or something for years, and then
Gotta
they
stop
shut
that
me
porn.
off when I put a Z. I put a Z on my profile, and I got blocked by Facebook because you can't have a Z. Means the word is za, which means for Russia. You're
That's
fighting.
funny.
That's why they have the Z, and so you can't put that. When the war in Ukraine started, I did that, and I got blocked immediately. I was not good and pissed off a lot of people apparently. And but it's just a comment. People were idiots. Everybody's got Ukrainian flags and they don't even know why. And so I was trying to get some thought processes going, and it wasn't working. So but at any rate, if you get your sound fixed, and we
Yeah.
can use this, when I was trying to do all things trap, Clayton was on earlier with me on this platform when I started one. He dialed in. I've had Mom on. David's been on a couple of times. Ginny, Callista, people have shown up, and the videos go out. But you might actually use it, or you could bring. So imagine if you had your Deep Thinkers Club on a platform like this and had
Oh,
people
that's a
do
good
it.
idea.
People would actually watch, and you could say, we're doing a Deep Thinkers on whatever topic on this night, and people could log in and provide their content, or just listen to whatever the content happens to be. And like your Deep Thinkers Club, I think that was a fantastic idea in the first place. Well, if you started
Yeah.
a Deep Thinkers Club here and you had a presentation, I mean, AI has made things, it's helped me. I mean, you don't know what you did for me like 2-3 weeks ago or whatever it was, when you asked me to try something like that. I've got some projects I'm working on the law side, that I never even thought of using it. Well, now I'm giving these detailed things on AI. I'm saying I have an interrogatory, and the interrogatory says blah, 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 and I need to know all the possible objections that I can list, and the typical response, and and then
Yeah.
I mean, it's detailed. I give them a detailed sort of stuff, and then it spits out. It's incredible what it does for me, and it saves time all the way around. And of course, you got to read it and make sure you're not, advising law and whatnot when you go through it. And AI can't advise in law, but I can. And so,
Yeah.
I can read all that stuff and then correct it, but it doesn't take me an hour and a half to write it. So what I've done for my book, because I've been writing a book, and it's been going really slow, but in the last 2 weeks I've almost finished it up. And every time you add something to the AI part and tell it, listen, I want to switch this from chapter 2 to chapter 8. I want you to change the header in here and keep track of that for me, because I don't want to forget it. And
Mhm.
and it's all the same thread of conversation. And now I have 70,000 words of my book already written, and all I want to do is get to about 80 or 90 and have it be coherent. I've uploaded all of my legal briefs, and it reads the legal brief and takes the meat out of it for me, and then it puts it into the right chapter place. You ought to see it, Matt. It's unbelievable. And
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. The irony is, so I was working with another guy, well, a couple other guys in this same way, and yeah, you've really just scratched the surface. Like, as
yeah, I know.
awesome as that stuff is, like, there's a whole, the world that you've stepped into is like, wow, look at all this stuff I can do. That's like a closet in the house of what you can do with AI.
Yeah, I know.
So it's
Well,
there's a
I'm
lot more
glad I'm
exciting
doing it.
stuff for you. Oh yeah, for sure. And it's super empowering, right?
Well, what it's doing is it's do you see our comment from Dancing Fiona that I
Uh,
posted on there?
let me see here.
But what it's doing for me, the AI is doing, is making it so, because I've been thinking about writing a book for several years now on my
Mm-hmm.
tail with the Missouri bar and what led up to it and why it's important, and analyze these idiotic processes and procedures that they have, and go for either reform of the legal system or understanding that judiciary is just as corrupt as everyone else, and making a pitch to say, even though we have three legs to our government, legislative, executive, and judicial, the judicial branch is the only one that controls itself, runs itself, and really doesn't get anything or any limitation from the other two. It gets money from the legislative side, but the executive
Mm-hmm.
side doesn't do anything except maybe pick
Besides
them. Yeah,
appointments,
on the
and
federal
yeah,
level, but once they get there, they're
yeah.
there for life. And so these assholes are untouchable, and you can't do anything about it. And so I'm making a pitch that the entire system is nuts, and I doubt that it'll,
That's a topic for deep thinkers, I think, as well, because when you look at what could be done with the same Constitution, but by tweaking a few things of execution,
hmm
you've now got a fundamentally, and this is how the globalists that have been a part of our government, the Barack Obamas and George Bushes of the world, this is how they've been getting away with modifying us to the point where we're unrecognizable from the past.
well,
And
it's
but it can
always
be
been a
done,
mistake to think that the judicial branch is above reproach. And when you go to law school, that's all they talk about. Well, we're the best system in the world, and nobody can compete with us. And I would say, well, you know, you can be the best system in the world, but what if you don't have the best people in the world running the best system in the world? You have to juggle them out every once in a while, and we do not. Why would it be that the judicial branch is appointed for life? What possible benefit is that? I mean, in all seriousness. And they always stretch it to tell you that they're appointed for life because the law needs to change slowly, and we need these people to make decisions based upon the fact that they aren't able to be booted out, and they bring a steadiness to the system that needs to exist because the legislature can change things, and so the interpretation will take a while. It's all BS. I mean, what difference would it make if we had the same president for 20 years? The rest of the world might take us a little bit differently. When you have somebody changes every 4 years, and the first thing they do on the first day in office is undo everything that the other guy did, no matter who it is, Democrat or Republican, that's really not the best way to run a railroad. When you take over, when you moved into the Army, and I know you heard this because you were in the Army too. It's the worst thing you can do when taking over a new unit is make massive changes. You need to come in and at least analyze the way it's going on. It may be run in a way that you're not used to, but just because you're not used to it doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. And so it's the people, and the same thing in the corporate world. If one of the things I always recommended against with a new person, a new employee, look, get in and figure out how things are done. Watch for 2 months, watch for 90 days, and then start making tweaks, start doing. But you don't come in and tear down the entire infrastructure and start all over. You can, but that's generally not the best way to go. And but something needs to happen in our legal system. I tell you what, I haven't shared any of the book with anybody yet. And I'm just in shock that I had ideas before, but I couldn't organize them. I couldn't really put them on paper. I had several pieces of paper in a separate little book that I kept. And when I started using the AI, and you and I were talking, I was like, well, I wonder what would happen if I told AI I was going to write a book. And so I told AI, I said, look, I'm going to write a book. And the book is like this. Here's the topics that I want to talk about, and I want to organize it in a chronological fashion. I want the people to know who I am and where I came from and what my background is. Then I want to let them know about my professional life and how I created that. Then I want to let them know about the problems as they started. And anyway, I've this horribly long, page and a half typed thing that I typed in, and the AI thing, the Grok, comes back and says, that sounds like a really good proposition for a book that could be whatever. And I suggest you formulate it like this. Do you have any documents I could read to get used to it? I downloaded into it my Supreme Court briefs, all of the stuff that I've been working on for years that would take me ages to organize into any coherent fashion. And Matt, I upload before my radio show tonight. I've now, when I get in the car and I drive somewhere for half an hour, I tape a half an hour story. Here's a story of a senator who screwed me, and his wife did this and he did, and I tell the whole story. And then I come back in and I'll have a 45-minute audio that I'll convert to words through a transcription program I have. I'll upload the transcript and it'll create an anecdotal story for me and plug it in to the right chapter of the book. And so I'm not writing a book, I'm talking in my car. And then when I
Yep.
get home, I just upload it and it automatically organizes it. So now I have a whole what do you call it, outline of the book with chapter 1.1, 1.2 in each of the topics. And there's 9 chapters, and each chapter is 7,500 words. And it goes, and when I put in the anecdote, it's saying, here's the anecdote, you need to add this. I'll just fold that into section 3.1, and you've given me some more stuff. And Matt, I'm almost done with this freaking thing. And 2
Yeah.
weeks ago, I'd have gone, this book won't be written for 20 years. I'd have been like Dad putting his book together, and God love him, it's hard to do, and mine
he
is
didn't have it.
mainly stories.
Well, the good news is we still can put dads together.
I've got most of his stuff, but I'm telling you, Matt, I appreciate. I mean, you didn't. I knew about AI, and I knew, I've used it for stupid stuff, but I never ever thought of using it for something useful. You know what I mean? And for me, I've wanted to tell my story. I don't care if anybody buys the book or not, but I am telling you, I want to write it, and I want to tell the story about the corrupt Missouri and the corrupt Missouri bar and how things really work. And I'm going to send it out to some of those. I asked it, do you know what I asked it, Matt? I got on AI and I said, when I'm done with my book, how do I submit it to a publishing house? Can you give me some ideas? And it goes, well, with the topic that you're getting ready to go, my search of the internet says that the big 5 might not want to touch it, but you could send it to these 2. And here are the 3 that we think are the best. And here's
here's the approach. You can also look up people.
Yeah, here's the approach. We can write a introductory letter for you based on your book if you'd like. And I got 4 examples of this freaking thing already written. And where they're going, if you send it to this publishing house, here's how you do it. You got to get on and submit it by email. This one only accepts by overnight overnight to this address, and you have to add a 20-page excerpt of your book or whatever, and then they'll review it. And some don't answer you. This one won't answer, or you can't expect an answer for 6 weeks. I was in shock at all the stuff it'll do.
Yeah. I'm so glad you're doing that. I think it's first of all, it's great that you're going to be able to finish a book. And second of all, that you got a tool that you can use to multiply your efforts and streamline them, make them more efficient, etc. When you get down the road, there's a bunch of other tools that you can use that can really, once you finish those projects, I mean, because
you know what was really a shocker to me is I have told this story, some of the stories that I wanted to tell, I told in Russian a year ago. So I have hour-long programs in Russian where I said, this story, here's what happened, this judge did this, here's how it went through, and I told a story. So I had an hour-long audio in Russian, and I transcribed it in Russian through the transcription program, took it in Russian, uploaded it to the same Grok in Russian, and it translated it into English and put it in the right spots in the book. And I could do it in Russian or in English. And when I'm done, and then it started talking to me in Russian, and it says, would you like me to give that chapter back to you in Russian or in English? And so it'll, I was like, damn. Well, at some point I'll want this in Russian because I want to publish it in Russian too. And because the book is called American Nightmare, and it's the story of the American dream gone sour, or the government taking it away, and like from me. and what they have done to me and the destruction of my life. I had a very, very good life,
Are you
and
going to
you were
name
right
names
there
and tell all?
when say what?
Are you going to name names and tell all?
I am naming names, and
I
everybody's
would
in
do
there.
it. I would do it, and I would put pictures
Yeah,
and
I had of everything,
photos
and I'm talking about them all. And
I would
senators,
definitely do it.
I bought the hookers for a set of senators. I bought them. I paid for their hookers. I gave them money for gambling, and
Yeah, I would definitely put that in the book and
I tell you
see if
what,
you can get statements from the hookers and all that
one
stuff.
of
They're
them
not dead
called me up.
somewhere.
One of them called me up. He drove his car, so it's a it's a funny story. It's a St. Louis senator, and he was in Jefferson City. They don't
State senator, I'm assuming.
State senator,
Yeah.
and they don't do anything in the state house except party. They come in there and they party. They work one day a session, and all the rest of it is there chasing interns and cheating on their wives. Right? These are not good people for the in general. And I used to run around with a bunch of them, so I know, and you can call me not good people, but I don't have to be. I'm not in the government. And so this guy who was a chiropractor, and he was funny as hell. His name's Chucky Portwood, and Chucky was hilarious. And but he never worked. He was always drunk. He was banging some 15-year-old girl and carting her around everywhere. And I was like, "Look, you're going to go to prison for that. You're 40 years old. You need to watch out, right?" And anyway, he calls me one night at 2 o'clock in the morning. He calls me, and he says, he goes, "Man, Sam, I'm in real trouble." I said, "What's wrong?" He goes, "I think I'm drunk." I said, "No doubt." And he goes, "And I just drove my car, the one with my state rep license plate numbers on it, because they have separate orange state license plates that are only for state representatives." And he goes, "And my car, I drove it into through somebody's back gate and into their pool." And I said, "Is everybody all right?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Is anybody with you?" Knowing damn well this 15-year-old chick was probably with him, and she was. And I said, "Does anybody know yet?" He goes, "Well, the owners of the house are stirring, and I went out on the street." I said, "Where's the girl?" He goes, "She's with me." I said, "Has anybody seen you yet?" He said, "No." I said, You got any money?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Give her whatever you got and tell her to get the hell out of there. She goes one way, you go the other." I said, "If you're drunk, get out of there, but you make sure that you go one way and she go the other." And I said, "And then you go home and you go to sleep. You don't answer that phone until 11 o'clock in the morning. And when you do, and people are after you, you say that you just, you tried to get a tow company and you did whatever. I don't give a shit what you do, but you don't need any evidence that you were drunk and drove it into a pool. You're done." And I said, "And then never call me again." I said, this is the end of the Sam and Chucky story. It's done." And I said, "Get yourself a really good attorney." And he did, and it was all over the newspapers the next day. And he's a funny guy. He was great for partying, but unfortunately, that's our state house too. All of them are like that, and they just it's a party. And I believe it's not only Missouri. I believe it's the same everywhere. They all got
Yeah.
these college age interns. Every time you go into the state house, they got a new set of the hottest little chickies around that are working for all the state senators. And, you know, how do they get ahead? They get ahead through, blowjobs and sex, and that's what happens. And so I have uh, I'm telling tales. I'm telling
Hmm.
everything. And so, you know, it's if I tell stories on the radio program and then transcribe it, I can upload. It's like you were telling me. You said if I put the things together and recorded anything and uploaded it, that it would keep track of me and my show. And I can, like today, I said, I'm doing a show tonight. I need some content for uh, 20 minutes. I want to tell stories about, you know, the most important parts of the conflict between India and Pakistan right now and commentary on that. I want to spend 10 minutes on the peace talks in Istanbul and any commentary from anybody important that came from there. It'll give me a full spreadsheet of stuff that's laid out along with the links that I can click on and get to for more detail. And it's I don't know, Matt. It's I've always had a little bit of trouble with organization, and so, you know, I
Like, what do you mean? Just organizing your thoughts, organizing your stuff?
organizing thoughts, organizing projects, you know, and I can usually, I'm a true generalist, you know. I have big ideas, and I can always give ideas and function and point people in the direction, but it really frustrates me when I come up with a great idea and I tell it to somebody else and they actually go out and
And
do
do it.
it and do it in stellar style in less than a month. And for me, I'd still be putting the detail portions together because I don't have enough detail. Now, arguably, people just sometimes grab stuff and run with it. Damn the torpedoes, you know. It's and I get that, and they do it on the fly, and they do it with wherever. And I need a little bit more organization and a little bit more of the research side of something to make sure I'm doing it, and that is an extreme strong point on the Grok side that I've come upon so far. I wanted your help in this because this morning I asked it. I'm working on a set of, for some lawyers that I work for. I'm working on a couple of lawsuits that are questionable. Premises liability. Somebody slips and falls in a mall, and you don't, but it's in front of a store, and that store was passing out spray perfume, which is an oil-based perfume, and there was oil slick spots outside the store on the ground, and this 82-year-old lady slipped on it and did the splits and really hurt herself,
Ouch.
you know, right there. So it's not a bullshit case. It's not somebody, oh, you know, geez, you know, my coffee at McDonald's, you know, was too hot and I dumped it on my leg. You know, it's not that. And who do you go after in that? And so I want to find a program, and I asked Grok about it this morning, that'll go out and I can upload her 260 pages of medical records, and the AI can read all the medical records and summarize the contents for me to file
I've
an
already done that
answer.
with my own.
Say what?
I've already done that with my own medical records. And I
Well,
did it with 480 pages. And then
well,
it
what did
created
you use
tables,
to do it?
timelines, all that stuff. There's a whole structure there that you have to put in. And
Did you
there's
use Grok for that, or was there some
no,
other
no, I
program?
use ChatGPT, but you have to do it a certain way. Your data has to be formatted. And it doesn't have to be structured data, but what I mean is it has to be accessible. And there may be a few steps involved. And speaking of few steps, I got to get to bed. It's like
yeah, me
mid-
too. I was just
like 1
realizing it's
o'clock.
freaking 1
But
o'clock.
we'll talk more about that. I'll show you how to do it.
Okay. Well, this is the platform, in case you were wondering. And
Yeah, I've been signing up here in the background. So
well, don't pay just yet. Keep the freebie on. And looks like you've logged out already. So thank you, Matthew. And it is thank you for visiting us, Dancing Fiona. Thank you very much. And this was only a test. And so there you go. We were just testing the system, me and my brother. And thank you very much. And we are now logging out and going to bed. Good night.